Hi everybody, Bill Kruger with My Yellow Jersey, and today we're going to talk about, as I promised, infinite banking, more commonly known as Be Your Own Banker. Real quick, what this is, it is utilizing the cash value of a whole or universal life policy to either take loans or withdrawals to use for other purposes or other purchases. Now, before I even get into all of this, you probably heard that a lot of people say that this is a bad idea. For example, Susie Orman.
How many times? How many times have you heard me say I hate universal life in the majority of the cases?
And Dave Ramsey.
Is that I know you don't like whole life policies. But is that index universal life something you would keep?
No. And here's a simple thing. When you combine investing and life insurance together, the investments never perform like they should.
Ouch. Susie and Dave don't like universal life. And there's a reason why they don't, because they're talking to people who are looking at the very long term and can ride some peaks and valleys, ride the roller coaster. However, I would argue there are reasons you should seriously consider about it. We know that there are roller coasters and there's ups and downs in the stock market. And there are times when hits the fan, like this.
It was the defining moment of the 1980s. October 19th, 1987, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged 508 points, the largest single-day drop in the history of the stock market.
I don't think anyone really expected a bank as big as Lehman to be in a position that it's in now.
Brought down by bad mortgage investments, Lehman, which has 25,000 employees, will be liquidated. Merrill, the country's biggest brokerage with 60,000 employees, had been battered by nearly $50 billion in mortgage-related losses.
And to give you just a little synopsis, in the Great Recession, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 53% from November of 2007 to March of 2009.
Holy shit!
Now, if you didn't need the money and you can ride the roller coaster, that's great, because from that point in time till October of 2020, the market was up 347%. That's fantastic. However, is there a way that you can actually take advantage of those big drops in the marketplace? And I would argue that a universal life policy structured properly is the best way to take advantage of that. The beauty of the universal life insurance policy is that you do get upside above normal just cash on cash returns of a whole life policy. Typically, your cap is like 11%. The beauty of the universal life policy is that there's a floor of 0 or 1%, so you don't lose any principal. Now, there's a cap on it, typically 10, 11%, so you do get some upside on an index off the S&P, for example. But as you fully fund that universal life policy as quickly as possible, you have access to cash. And you know what Steve Harvey says.
Cash, Steve.
Cash.
I mean,
Cash is king, baby.
So, for illustration purposes only, a fully funded universal life insurance policy on a 40-year-old woman is going to cost you approximately $160,000 over a 5-year period. And at the end of the 5th year, you're going to have approximately $164,000 in cash value. That is cash that you can withdraw to use for other purposes. At the end of the 10th year, you're going to have approximately $204,000. Again, these are just rough estimates, and individual policy prices, etc., are going to vary. So these are illustrative purposes only. Again, disclaimer. So, but that said, if you had $205,000 of cash available when the market had declined by 53% over a 3-year period, that gives you great opportunities to acquire generational type wealth.
I want to buy stocks when everyone's freaking out. Because, as Warren Buffett said, the New York Stock Exchange is the only store in the world where consumers sell stuff when it goes on sale. And so you want to buy when everyone's freaking out. Like, if everybody's freaking out and the stock market's crashing, and you buy, and it's, I don't know, March of 2009, you're gonna, it's a generational low. You're gonna make a fortune longer term.
You can buy assets at significant discounts, whether it be stocks or real estate, or keeping your business alive or acquiring another business. That's cash that you don't have to go to a banker to get. And we know what happens when times get tough. Banks tighten their lending standards and you don't have access to that kind of capital. This is the perfect example and textbook example, frankly, of why you need to be your own banker. Anyway, that ends this one. My next video, I'm going to get into a little bit of the numbers for those of you that liked it, but I hope you get the concept. You can put your money into a universal life insurance policy, so not only do you get life insurance, but by fully funding it very quickly, you get access to cash that you can deploy when opportunities present themselves and you're not reliant upon somebody else besides yourself. That's the beauty of it. And I think that makes sense for some people, for people that have irregular income streams and are looking for ways to take advantage of certain opportunities. Hope you have a great night. Bill Kruger with My Yellow Jersey.